tomorrow we're getting out to do some riding with the 2001 CR250. So I've had these foot pegs laying around for a while. I haven't put them on. So we're gonna put them on in this video, do an oil change, check the air filter, go over everything, make sure that the bike is in top shape so we can have a really enjoyable day out at the track. So maintenance is a huge part of being able to enjoy your bike. If you don't do the proper maintenance, you don't know what to expect from your bike. I don't know what kind of condition the oil's in. I haven't changed it. So we're gonna drop the oil and take a good look, see what's going on with the inside of the motor, and that's the best indicator we have. The oil's a little gray, but really still pretty clean. We like to stay on top of our maintenance and try and ensure what's going on. There's no grit, nothing like that. This motor's still good. I could have probably got a little bit more life out of it, but better safe than sorry, guys. Oil's cheap, my motor's not. While we've got the oil draining on the bike, it's a good time to pull the seat and pull out the air filter. Whether it needs it or not, we're gonna change it and we're gonna clean up this filter and put a new one in. It's a good way to ensure that your bike keeps running. The number one reason dirt bikes blow up and you kill the motor is a dirty air filter. So I don't get a chance to go out and ride a whole lot, guys. You can tell by the color of the oil that it wasn't that dirty. But when I do, you know, I like to make sure the bike's running right. And I'm gonna show you, so I have 3 rides on this bike. Like I went to 3 different tracks, different times, and look at the filter. The filter, the thing it's got lots of oil on it. The inside, still pretty brown and good, that's good. But this filter's filthy. We need to clean it. It's really sticky still, so that's a good sign. And get it off the cage. And we got some new filter cleaning product we're gonna try. But anyway, 3 rides. That's pretty dirty. I've seen this stuff online. I thought, you know what? I saw it at my local dealership. It was almost 30 bucks, 26.99 Canadian. It cleans 10 filters. What this is a solution. You don't dilute it with water. You pour it straight in. We've got the Twin Air cleaning kit, which is basically a pail that this stuff is in. And we're gonna try it in the filter. Cleaning filters is a pain in the butt. I usually don dish soap and hot water to scrub them up, but we'll see how this works. I guess we'll just soak it in. It actually kind of smells like bubble gum, this solution. It's kind of different here. So I just set it in there. Look at the crud coming out of it already, but that's to be expected, sand and stuff. This will just kind of soak it in. And then, once it's done its thing, oh, it actually works pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It might be worth the 30 bucks. Like I'm barely putting it in there and it's already taking it out. Huh. So far, I'm pretty impressed. We'll see. And when I'm cleaning a filter, guys, you don't want to wring it. If you wring your filter, you'll end up damaging it. Just squeezing it. Yeah, this is actually working pretty good. I'm actually pretty surprised at the condition here that this is. We're gonna let it soak this stuff up and let it just sit for a minute. Now you don't get a lot of solution for $30. Like you're definitely not, I'm only got like a ½ inch or an inch of stuff down in there. So, but maybe you don't need it, I guess. It's working pretty good. I guess I store it in the pail when I'm done with it. I'm not gonna try and put it in the bottle. So you can't just let it dry like this. You have to rinse it out with water. So I guess I should have got the hose set up. There's no stickiness or nothing left on it. Wow. All right, well, you're gonna sit in there, soak that up, and I'll get the hose. So far, I am seriously impressed with this WP filter cleaner. Like, this filter was filthy. We're just squeezing all the cleaner back out as much as we can, because I got more filters to clean. And yeah, like there's no blue left in it. There's no dirt. Like there's some, the dark spots that you're seeing are the cleaner still stuck in this filter. And I'm just squeezing it. And now I'm gonna rinse through it with the garden hose here. Huh. I think it actually works. It's not too often you find a new product that works. Hopefully I'm getting all this on film, but I am more than impressed. Now the solution is dirty as dirty can be, but wow. All right. Back in the shop, we've got a brand new twin air filter for the 01. I usually have 2 or 3 of them at all times. Not brand new, but filters that I'm running. And what we have in our twin air kit, I believe this is Bel-Ray oil. Now the Maximus stuff's good. The biggest thing is use a quality filter oil is what I try to choose. The Bel-Ray stuff's good. The Maximus stuff's good. There's other companies out there that have good product as well. But we're just gonna dab it in and work it around. I always liked the Bel-Ray stuff back in the day. I borrowed this kit to try and use it off a buddy. He's like, you gotta try it. It actually works pretty good, because normally I'm just dumping stuff over a garbage can or putting the fluid into a bag and trying to smush it around. But he says this, you're not wasting any. You just dab your filter in and then rub the oil into your filter without completely soaking it, you know? Seems to be pretty good little investment, this little pail. And it's not that it's the twin air pail. It's just that it's a pail that's small enough and fits a filter perfectly. So you don't need to worry, where's my oil? Well, your oil's in the pail. It's clean oil, especially if you use that stuff to clean your filters. So one thing I like to double check is take a good look down in there and see if there's any dirt that's been getting past your filter. On ours, the seal is really, really clean. You don't want any dirt getting in that air boot and potentially getting into your motor. So we're gonna put our cage back into the filter, the new filter. Lines up with a pin there. And then it pushes on to the center pin. If I can get a hold of it. The problem with air filters is they get so greasy from oiling them up. Yeah, so I double check. I feel around with my hand, double check to make sure it's sealed. Time to reinstall our seat. So on Hondas, this is your oil fill level indicator. There's a brass washer or copper washer behind it. We're just gonna pull it out, inspect the washer. I don't change my washers every time. You can, but this washer, as you can see, it's still good. It's not all scarred up. It just helps make a good seal. So we're gonna save this washer, try and show. So when it comes to tightening your oil drain bolt, okay, this is, for some reason, used dirt bikes, guys struggle with this. I'm using one hand and it's snug, right? I'm going, it's snug. There's probably like 10 pounds of pressure on there. I'm just snugging it in. The washers that go around it will crush it and make that seal. You don't need to keep cranking that thing till you rip every thread in the dirt bike out. In my bikes, guys, this is what I use, this Motool 1040. It's what Honda calls for in the bottom end. This is good for a wet clutch. So that's what I run. Just a 1040, a good quality 1040 oil. You can run different weights, oils and stuff like that. And depending on where you live, you might need to. But up here, the weather changes. This is what's recommended, and that's what I run. We're just gonna fill it until the oil comes out of the overflow. There, and it's just dripping out now. And the bike is sitting level, guys. It's not leaning one way or the other. The bike is sitting level on the stand so that we're getting an accurate reading. Obviously, if your bike was leaning, it's gonna come out sooner. If it's leaning the other way, you're gonna put too much oil in. And we'll go ahead and cap that back off. Put our bolt back in. We're gonna go ahead and remove the stock pegs. There's just a cotter pin holding the actual Honda pin in. Try and bend that out of the way with the pair of needle nose here. If I can get a hold of it. Now sometimes this one can be a bit of a pain on this side because it'll hit your brake lever. I don't know on my 2001 if I have to remove it. Looks like I may have to. I guess while we have it apart, we might as well grease our brake. It's a maintenance thing that gets overlooked a lot of the time. A lot of grime and dirt gets in there. We'll simply pack the repack it full of grease. Yeah, it needs it for sure. There's our peg. We just got our waterproof grease. Any grease will work, you know, any good quality grease. But we're gonna repack, I got way too much grease on my finger. But we're gonna just pack a bunch of grease around here, get rid of the rest of that. Jesus. And have it ready to go. It's as simple as it is, guys. Just putting some grease into your brake pivot so that it doesn't wear out. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Remove our spring. Install the spring. Install the new pin. Just like that. Reinstall the washer and the cotter pin. Now, if your cotter pin's all messed up, obviously replace that. Don't reuse a piece of crap cotter pin. Not for the price of them. They're cents. They're pennies. You know, don't be the guy that uses a nail. Please don't be the guy. I think dirt bike repair viewers wouldn't use a nail unless it was an emergency. So I just want to show the difference, the IMS super stock peg versus the completely stock Honda peg. You got a little bit more length, not much, like they're almost identical. But the width is quite a bit. We'll just set it on top. You get about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch of extra width. So hopefully we'll give our honest review of how they feel on the 01. But I think they're not a bad replacement. Just taking a quick look at our rear brake pads. Lots of pad left on both sides. We stock pads for this bike, but we don't need to replace them. Lots of pad for riding left. When we're looking at the brakes, we're checking the pads, seeing if there's lots of life, and there is on all of our pads. We're also gonna take a quick feel of the rotors, just feeling to see if there's any major nicks or anything like that. These rotors are fine. You would feel it when you push the bike if something all of a sudden was hard to push or anything like that if they were grabbing, but our rotors are good. We're always gonna take a look at the chain. I like to do 3 fingers at the rim. I've got lots of play. I like to do side pressure. Take a look. It doesn't come close to a tire, so I'm not too worried. We're good on play. Everything seems really, really good. One thing we're gonna do while we're at the back of the bike is we're just gonna do a quick check. All of our spokes sound the same. So we don't have a dead spoke. If you had, like if it was tingy, a nice ring to it, and then all of a sudden it went tunk. I'm using the other end of the screwdriver to simulate what it would sound like. But you have a high pitch, and then if you hit this one the same force and it sounded like a dead thud, you would need to tighten that spoke. And as soon as you tighten one, you have to start kind of double checking them all. So I haven't done anything with this bike in over a month, and I can see that the tire seems a little flat when sitting on this stand. Now obviously we have a little bit of pressure on the downforce here, but we're gonna check it, get our tire gauge out. The last thing you wanna do is show up at the track and have a completely flat tire. I always take a hand air pump with me in case I wanna change my tire pressure, but it's better to know back at your house. So yeah, we're only at 3 pounds of pressure. And I like to run my tires at about 12 pounds. So we're definitely low. There's 12.7. That sounds good. One thing a lot of guys forget or don't know that they're supposed to do is bleeding off the air screws on their front forks. So it's a simple loosening the screw, and it's a little hard to hear out here. But before you ride, like, it just hisses out a bunch of air, and then you simply thread it back in. Maintenance is the #1 thing that gets overlooked, and why people go, oh, my dirt bike blew up. Well, you didn't clean the air filter. #1 reason bikes blow up is the air filter. 4-stroke guys probably have a hell of a time with engine oil. You got to change your engine oil. It's the lifeblood of your motor. It needs clean oil, and you need good air getting into that bike, along with fuel, obviously. Now, I want to talk about this stuff here. This stuff really kind of blew me away. It worked really, really, really good. The issue I have with it is that it says it cleans 10 units. Now, I only cleaned 1, and the water the water, let's just call it water, the chemical, is dirty. Like, I don't know if I want to use it again. And if that's the case, if it doesn't work a second time, I can just buy a filter for the $30 that this cost me. So we'll see. Anyway, leave a comment down below, guys. Let me know if you guys use this stuff. Anybody out there have a better solution for cleaning air filters? Also, let me know if there's anything you guys do that I didn't do in my maintenance check before I go riding. I'd love to hear about it. There's something simple that maybe I'm forgetting, or maybe there's something on a certain bike that needs to be checked. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.